The United States' strong support for Israel has been one of the most defining and enduring aspects of American foreign policy in the Middle East. This unwavering alliance has puzzled many observers, particularly given the contentious nature of Israel's policies regarding Palestine and the broader Arab world. Understanding why the U.S. gives Israel so much support requires exploring several key factors, including historical ties, strategic interests, shared values, and political dynamics. These elements have solidified the U.S.-Israel relationship, making it one of the most significant bilateral partnerships in modern international relations. One of the primary reasons for the U.S.'s support of Israel is the shared democratic values between the two nations. Israel is often described as the only true democracy in the Middle East. For many Americans, particularly politicians and policymakers, this alignment of democratic ideals strengthens the bond between the two nations. The U.S. has a history of supporting democracies, especially in regions where they are surrounded by authoritarian regimes or unstable governments. Israel, with its democratic institutions, free elections, and commitment to civil liberties, aligns well with the values that the U.S. champions globally. From the American perspective, supporting Israel is akin to supporting a stable democratic outpost in a region fraught with conflict and autocratic rule. Another key factor is the historical and emotional connection between the U.S. and Israel, particularly in the aftermath of World War II and the Holocaust. After the atrocities committed against the Jewish people during the Holocaust, there was a strong global push for the establishment of a Jewish homeland. The creation of Israel in 1948 was seen as a fulfillment of this goal, and the U.S. was among the first nations to recognize the new state. The horrors of the Holocaust left an indelible mark on the collective conscience of many in the West, particularly in the U.S., where there was a widespread sense of responsibility to support the survival and security of the Jewish people. This historical context continues to influence American public opinion and policy towards Israel, creating a moral imperative for many Americans to ensure Israel's survival in a hostile region. The U.S. also sees Israel as a crucial strategic ally in the Middle East. Since its founding, Israel has fought multiple wars with its Arab neighbors, including Egypt, Syria, and Jordan. Throughout these conflicts, Israel has proven itself as a formidable military power in the region. The U.S. recognizes Israel's military strength and its role as a stabilizing force in a region that is often tumultuous. Israel's military capabilities, intelligence sharing, and technological advancements make it an invaluable partner in the U.S.'s broader geopolitical strategy in the Middle East. The alliance with Israel provides the U.S. with a reliable base of operations and a counterbalance to the influence of hostile regimes, particularly Iran. This strategic value has only grown in importance as the U.S. has become increasingly entangled in Middle Eastern affairs, from the Gulf Wars to the ongoing fight against extremist groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Economic and military aid has also played a central role in the U.S.-Israel relationship. Since 1973, the U.S. has provided Israel with more than $150 billion in assistance, making it the largest cumulative recipient of U.S. foreign aid. Most of this aid comes in the form of military assistance, helping Israel maintain its military edge over potential adversaries in the region. This financial support underscores the U.S.'s commitment to ensuring Israel's security in a volatile environment. In return, Israel has shared crucial intelligence with the U.S. on regional threats and has been a testing ground for U.S. military technology. The relationship is mutually beneficial, as the U.S. gains a strategic foothold in the Middle East, while Israel receives the resources it needs to defend itself. Another significant factor driving U.S. support for Israel is the political influence of pro-Israel lobbying groups, particularly the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, AIPAC. AIPAC is one of the most powerful lobbying organizations in the U.S., with a wide reach across the political spectrum. It has successfully built bipartisan support for Israel in Congress, ensuring that both Democratic and Republican administrations have maintained strong ties with Israel over the years. AIPAC and other pro-Israel groups argue that supporting Israel aligns with American interests in the Middle East, and they have worked to secure consistent aid packages and diplomatic backing for Israel. While there is some debate over the extent of AIPAC's influence, it is clear that the pro-Israel lobby plays a significant role in shaping U.S. policy. The U.S.-Israel relationship is also deeply intertwined with domestic American politics. In recent years, U.S. politicians have increasingly framed their support for Israel in terms of domestic electoral concerns. For instance, Evangelical Christians in the U.S. are some of the most ardent supporters of Israel. Many evangelicals believe in a theological connection to the land of Israel, seeing its existence as part of biblical prophecy. Politicians, particularly those on the conservative side of the spectrum, have often courted evangelical voters by emphasizing their commitment to Israel. The combination of evangelical support and the influence of pro-Israel lobbying groups has created a powerful political coalition that pushes for continued U.S. support of Israel. However, U.S. support for Israel is not without controversy. Critics argue that the U.S.'s unyielding backing of Israel, particularly in the context of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, has undermined America's role as an impartial mediator in peace efforts. They point to Israel's continued settlement expansion in the West Bank and its military actions in Gaza as issues that have fueled anti-American sentiment in the Arab world and beyond. Furthermore, some critics claim that U.S. military aid to Israel exacerbates tensions in the region, leading to cycles of violence rather than fostering peace. Despite these criticisms, U.S. policy towards Israel has remained largely unchanged, driven by the factors discussed earlier. In conclusion, the U.S. gives Israel significant support due to a combination of shared democratic values, historical ties, strategic interests, economic and military partnerships, and domestic political dynamics. While this relationship is not without its challenges, it remains one of the most enduring alliances in modern international relations. As the geopolitical landscape continues to evolve, the U.S.-Israel partnership is likely to remain a cornerstone of American foreign policy in the Middle East.